Hey there, welcome back to Coding Stuff, and in this tutorial we are going to build calculator app from scratch in Android Studio. So we'll be creating application like this. We can perform all the operations here, all the basics operation, and also I will provide source code in the description box. So if you have some error you can always check with that. So let's fire up our Android Studio and start creating the app. So I have created one empty project here. So first we'll start by preparing layout for application. So I'll click on app and resource values and I will add some colors. So instead of this blue color we'll use orange color. So hash ff7f50, and instead of this dark blue color we'll use another dark color, so 37331, and we'll just duplicate this line, and instead of color accent we'll write here color white, and the hex code will be 6f's. Okay, cool. So now we'll click on layout and create new layout. So new layout resource file, we'll name it as a buttons layout, and instead of this constraint layout we'll use relative layout. Now click on OK, and I will press Alt Ctrl L to format the code, and height will be wrap content. Okay, so now we'll use grid layout. So width will be match parent and height will be wrap content, and the row count will be 5, column count will be 4, and we'll add some buttons here. So button width will be wrap content and height will be 100 dp, and text will be C, capital C, and text color will select color white, and the background of the button will be color primary dark. So let me show you. Okay, and we'll increase the text size to 25 sp. So now we'll write one property, that is layout row, and here will pass index, so then layout column, and here will pass index 0, and then layout column weight, this will be 1, and at the last we'll just provide on click, so on button click method. Later we'll implement this method in our main activity.java, and at the first we'll just provide id, so id will be clear button. So this is how we implement grid layout. If you don't know how to implement grid layout, you can check out the video in the I button. In that video I have explained in detail. So now I will just copy this button and I will paste it here 3 times. Okay, so after clear button we'll provide id as a power button, and the column will be 1, and then the percent button, text will be percent, and column will be 2, and then we'll write here division button, text as a division symbol, and column will be 3. Okay, then we'll write here button 7, so text will be 7, and row will be 1. Cool. So now we'll just copy this button, so this will be button 8, and text will be 8, and the column will be 1. This will be button 9, and the column will be 2. So we'll provide here id as a multiply button, and text will be multiply symbol, column will row will be 1 and column will be 3. Okay, cool. So we'll just copy these four buttons and we'll paste it here. So this will be 4 and the text will be 4. Okay, so now the last one. So this will be button 0, 0 and the row will be 4th, and then we'll provide button point, text will be point and the row will be 4th, and we'll just define this button as a equals button. So equal button, and the symbol will be this equals to, and the row will be 4th. And let me delete this button, we don't need this. And here we just have to add column span to the 2. Okay, and we just have to change the background color to color primary. That's it. So we have designed our button layout. Now we'll click on layout and create new layout resource file. We'll name it as item, and this constraint layout will use linear layout. Click on OK, and I'll press Alt Ctrl L to format the code. Then I'll just add here text view, wrap content, and the text will be, let's put any dummy text, 1234. Text size will be 40 sp. Let me provide here background. So background will be color primary dark, and this height will be wrap content. Okay, cool. And let's provide text color as a white, so color white. Okay, and what we'll just provide here padding of 10 dp and layout gravity. This will be end. Okay, cool. Now we'll just provide here id, so this will be input text, and I will just copy this text and we'll paste it here. This will be output text. Let's increase its size to 60 sp. Okay, cool. So now we'll just delete this constraint layout and we'll use your linear layout. And I will just provide here orientation of vertical, and then I'll press include the layout that I want to include here, that is item, and its width will be match parent and height will be the wrap content. Then I will create one relative layout. Height width will be match parent and height will be the wrap content, and the background will be color primary dark, and just provide here gravity of bottom, and inside this we'll include our buttons layout. So include layout, and this will be buttons layout. Width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. Okay, cool. So we have designed our activity main for our application and all the layouts for our application. So instead of creating this buttons layout and item layout, we also able to implement all all the buttons and the text in this activity main. But just I wanted to show you that there is another way that we can merge the different layouts in another layouts. So now we'll just jump to main activity and we'll collect all the IDs of our widgets. So first we do have text views. So text view, input text, and we have output text. Then I will create some string variables. So string input, output, and new output. Then I will just collect all the buttons. So private button, sorry, we'll press here alt enter to import the button class. Then button 0, button 1. So now we'll just find all the IDs of our buttons and text views. So first, so we have finded all the IDs of our widgets. Now we'll implement that on clicked method in our buttons layout, this one. So we'll create that method here. So public void, and here we'll pass view, and we'll create instance of button. So button equals to view, and we have to type cast this. So button, and now we'll store the button text in string data. So string data equals to button dot get text dot to string, and using this data we'll identify whichever button is clicked. So we'll use switch case, and we'll pass here data, and the first case will be clear button, that is capital C. We'll set the input equals to null and the output equals to null, and we'll set the output text as a null, and we'll apply the break. Okay, and then we'll create one case for our power button. If this button has been clicked, we'll just concatenate this symbol with existing input. So input plus equals to power button. So this line means, let me tell you in simpler words, input plus. So this both lines are similar, their meaning is same, but it's just shorter form and this is longer form. So we'll be using shorter form here, and then we'll call this solve method. We'll create it in a minute and break. Okay, let me create that method over here. So private void solve, and we'll implement this method later. And after this we'll apply one case, that will be if multiplication button has been clicked, we'll concatenate our input with existing string to the multiplication symbol, and then we'll call solve method, and then we'll apply break. That's it. Then case if equals to button has been clicked, then we just have to call this solve method and break. And if the percentage button has been clicked, we'll concatenate it with existing input, so input plus equals to percentage symbol, and then we'll create one double variable, so double d equals to double dot parse double text input text dot get text dot to string divided by 100. That is how we find the percentage. And then we'll set this to the output text, so output text dot set text, and here we'll pass string dot value of double d, and we'll apply break here. Then the last is default case. So in default we'll first check if this input string is null. If this is null, we'll just set it input equals to empty string, and if this is not the case, we'll check data equals to plus, where is the plus, okay, or data equals to the division, or data equals to subtraction. We have already defined for multiplication over here, so here we'll just call the solve method. That's it. And now we'll take now we'll store all the button clicked in our string input variable. So input equals to plus equals to data. If 7 has been clicked, 7 will store in this input. So that's it for our switch case. Now we just have to set this input to our output text, so output text dot set text, and we'll pass here input. That's it. Now we'll jump to solve method and we'll perform arithmetic operation over here. So at the first, in this method we'll check, let me show you how our app is looking till now, then we'll implement this solve method. Okay, so it has been installed. If I click on this clear button, okay, we have made it one mistake. Okay, instead of output text we have to use here input text, sorry, and in clear button, okay, now it will work definitely. So if I click on this clear button, both input text and output text has been clear, and you can see I can write here anything. The click events are working fine. So now we just have to provide functionality to all the remaining all the remaining these symbols. If I click on this percentage, it will show me the percentage. So that's it. Now we'll just implement our solve method. So in this solve method, we are going to use a regular expression to identify there is operator or not. So I highly recommend you to read more about regular expression, how to use them. So regular expression is a pattern class and it is mostly used for searching operations. So that's what we are going to do here. We'll just search if in that input string there is operator or not. So first we'll do it for the addition. So if input dot split string dot regex, he'll pass our plus operator, and then the length, this will be 2. Okay, so after this we'll create one string where string numbers array. This will be equal to input dot split and we'll pass here this plus symbol. So we'll write here try, and we'll create one double variable. So double d equals to double dot pass double, and we'll pass here numbers at index 0 plus double dot pass double numbers at position 1, and then we'll store this double in our output string. So output equals to double dot to string, and here we'll pass this d, and we'll just set it to output text. So output text dot set text, and here we'll pass this output, and at the last input equals to this d plus empty string. And now we'll catch the exception. So catch exception e output text dot set error e dot get message dot to string. That's it. Now we'll check our app is working or not. So I'll click on this run button. Okay, so if I click on this C clear button, so all the input text and output text is null now. If I click on 6 plus 3 equals to 9 plus 6 equals to 15, but you can see there is one bug. We are able to see this point 0. We don't want to see this point 0, so we'll fix it now. So just after this method, solve method, will create another method that will be private string. We'll name it as a cut decimal, and this will take input as a string number. Let's name it as a number, and we'll create one dummy number string n equals to number dot split. We'll check if there is a point or not. So if there is a point, we'll just remove it, and also we'll check if n dot length is greater than 1. Then n at position 1 is equals to 0 or not. So if it is 0, we'll just cut it. So number equals to n of 0. That's it. And then we'll just return that number. So return number. Okay, so after this we'll use our new output string variable, and we'll call this cut decimal method, and we'll pass output there. And instead of passing output here, we'll pass here new output. That's it. Now we'll check. So 6 plus 3, so it is 9 now. You can see it is 15 now. So if you want to change this input text also, if you want to cut this 0.0 part, you can do the similar steps that I have done here, and I will leave it for you that. Okay, so now we'll just copy this if condition from here till here. Yes, till here. We'll copy it, and I will paste it 4 times. So after plus, we'll implement multiplication. And here we'll pass division. And here we'll pass power button. So power operator, sorry. So now we have to use math class. So math dot pow, and here, so we just have to put one bracket here. That's it. And then for subtraction, So in this subtraction, we have to use if else condition because we have to check if the first number is greater than second or not. If the second number is greater than the first number, then we have to subtract second first number from the second number. So for that purpose, we'll use if else condition here. So if double dot pass double at position 0 is less than double dot pass double at position 1. Sorry, here we have to pass the numbers. Okay, if this is the case, then we'll just copy this line till here and we'll paste it here. This will be minus and this will be first and this will be second. In this set text method, we'll just use this minus operator to be displayed there and concatenate it with new output. That's it. And this block will put in the else block. So else okay, that's it. So I think we have done everything fine till now. We'll click on item and we'll delete this dummy text, and over here also we'll delete this dummy text. And now we can click on this run button and check our app is working or not. So you can see it is not working for sequence of characters. So let me fix it. I think I have made one mistake in switch case. Okay, we have to call this solve method before we take the input from user. So over here and this one also. And one thing, we'll make our new output as a null also. So new output equals to null. Okay, now I think everything is fine. We'll click on run button. So 2 plus 3 into 6. So it is working perfectly fine. Okay, so all the operations are working properly. So after this tutorial, I want you to make a scientific calculator on your own. But if you want me to make tutorial on scientific calculator, let me know in the comment section. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for upcoming tutorials. So thank you for watching.